This avalanche safety report is brought to you by MTN-TV. Learn more at MTN-TV.com.
I'm Shannon Lukens with MTN-TV, and we're always concerned about avalanches during the winter. And joining me now, Brian Lazar with Colorado Avalanche Information Center. Brian, you have so much information. Take it away.
Yeah, well, winter is back and it's coming in fast and furious. And so let me just kind of start by showing where we sit as of Thursday afternoon. And you can see we've got a widespread, most of the state, it's either a considerable or high avalanche danger, which, speaks to the very dangerous avalanche conditions. All those orange triangles means we have an avalanche watch in place. And a lot of these areas, we can expect to go to an avalanche warning starting on Thursday night. And the difference between these kind of two special products is that the avalanche watch means we see dangerous conditions coming. So we want people to get prepared. It means we expect to reach, high or extreme avalanche danger within the next 24 hours or so. That's going to happen Thursday night, and at least a portion of the state's going to be in an avalanche warning by the time we get to Thursday night and into Friday morning. That means dangerous avalanche conditions are here. We are no longer expecting them. They are here right now. They're on our doorstep. And during the period of avalanche warnings, we simply recommend people do not travel in or under backcountry avalanche terrain. And that's going to be the most dangerous period is going to be Thursday night and lasting through Friday. And the reason is we have a really potent storm that's starting to impact us on Thursday afternoon. It's going to add a lot of snow in a fairly rapid period. All these red areas are over a foot of snow. The pink areas, you can see it's portions of the Elk Mountains, Grand Mesa, flat tops, are going to be pushing 2 feet. To further exacerbate this problem is that it's coming in with a ton of wind. So these blue colors are winds, between 15 and 25 miles an hour. And the yellow colors, are over 30 miles an hour. So when we have that much snow coming that rapidly, combined with a lot of very strong winds, this is going to lead to a very rapid uptick in avalanche activity. And just to further emphasize that point, we had a little bit of snow and wind earlier in the week, and that led to an uptick in these avalanches in the wind-drifted snow. As you can see here, here's one that was triggered remotely by a skier near Breckenridge. But you can see even with the little bits of storm snow that we got midweek, upwards of maybe 8 or 12 inches in the deepest areas, we had slabs already drifting in about 2 feet deep. And here's one near Crested Butte. You can see that these avalanches were pretty easy to trigger on the older snow surface. And this is just a precursor of what's to come, because with a little bit of snow, we saw avalanches of this size. We're going to add a whole bunch more snow on avalanches like this, and they're only going to grow in size. And they also have the potential to step into deeper weak layers, which is really what's most concerning. And when we say deeper weak layers, here's just a very stark example out near Battle Mesa, where we've got our most recent storm snow sitting over a very weak snowpack. And you can see the stark contrast between the most recent storm snow and the weak layers closer to the ground. Here's a video which just illustrates how avalanches or failures in upper weak layers can break into the lower weak layers. So we're going to see if we can test both layers. We're going to start with this lower one. So that one's 30 over 100. See if we can get another result in this upper weak layer. 30 centimeters over 100 on both weak layers of concern. This is why the PSTs have been pretty helpful right now. And you can imagine any avalanche that got going about that deep could then easily step down.
Tell us about that weak snowpack and what if it does break into these weaker layers?
Yeah, and then this is what we're most worried about. The storm snow avalanches all by themselves could be dangerous with the amount of snow and wind we're getting. But if these avalanches start to get moving and break into these deeper weak layers, these are the kinds of conditions that produce these big monster avalanches, like what we saw last week or so, where avalanches are breaking very deep. This one you can see near the ground, crossing hundreds of yards of avalanche terrain. So these are the big monsters that we're worried about. And so when we have this avalanche warning in place, it's going to be the storm snow avalanches that are the easiest to trigger. It's going to be avalanches that break into those deeper weak layers, which are actually going to be the most dangerous. Which is why, because of the size potential that we've got going into and through this storm, we have to be very aware of steep avalanche terrain above us, even if we're moving in flat terrain. And so the peak instability, the most dangerous period is going to be from Thursday night through Friday. But that does not mean we move into safe avalanche conditions as we head into the weekend. This is a really rapid load. It's going to take some time for the snowpack to adjust. So even when the warnings expire as we move into Saturday and Sunday, we're still going to need very conservative terrain travel to be safe out there to further complicate the picture is that we have yet another warm up coinciding with the weekend. It's going to be a lot of fresh, cold snow. Once that gets hit by, strong March sunshine and increasing temperatures, we can expect some of this fresh snow to slough off in smaller, loose, wet avalanche activities. So we're going to have to pay attention to that. This is all pretty dynamic as it sounds. So it's going to be really important to check the forecast throughout the weekend and into early next week because conditions are changing quite rapidly.
Brian, thank you so much. You have so many good visuals and so much information. Everybody very much appreciates it.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Stay safe out there.
Okay. And always check Colorado.gov /avalanche. I'm Shannon Lukens with Brian Lazar for Mountain TV.